Worth. Listen up, ladies, because we got some good information coming. Hayley, can you come on up?
Raise your hand if you agree with this statement. Everybody here is an author. Okay, great. Many of you. Each and every one of you is the author of your own life story. And if you're not writing your story, I want you to ask yourself this question: who is? I often cringe at all the years that went by that I did not know my value. In other words, I allowed the roles that I took on as mother, wife, business owner to dictate how I evaluated my value. So if you're asking yourself this question, why is this so important? Ladies and a gentleman, I hope this morning I will persuade you to know the value in knowing your value. A few years ago in Wyoming, a girlfriend asked me if I would attend an Al-Anon meeting. I said, sure, I had never been. I'll gladly be there for moral support. And as I sat there tearfully listening to each and every one's experiences and behaviors, I noticed there was a common theme among them. They did not know their value. Last month, another girlfriend asked me if I would attend an overeaters group for moral support. And of course I went and sat and listened to all of the members speak. Same thing, just different experiences and behaviors at this time, but the common theme was so profound. They did not know their value. Now, I want you to ask yourself this question while you're sitting here.
Sorry. Thank you.
Do you know how valuable and worthy you are? Many of you probably don't. Now, you're probably also asking yourself, well, how do I achieve this? Well, I'm here to tell you that oftentimes it's a very difficult task. It requires hard work. But I'm also here to tell you that I only found mine 6 years ago at the age of 43. Now, my road to finding my self-worth was far from an easy one. I had to face the fact of what I believe was holding me back on what I wanted to take as a journey to find my value. I was in an unhappy marriage for nearly 20 years. So, once I faced this, I realized I needed to divorce my husband. So I left my comfort zone of Palm Beach, Florida. I rustled up my son, and I said, we're going to move across the country to the state of Wyoming, where we didn't know one person. But you see, I was in need of not only change, I needed to find my value. And I felt I can only do this away from a comfort zone and a lifestyle that I had become so accustomed to, and my son. So after living in this small town in Wyoming, I saw that there was a communication class advertised at the local college. It said that it will give you the skills to learn how to express to others how you actually feel. Now that sounds easy to many of you, but for me, that's been my life's biggest challenge. I'm a people pleaser, and I've never been able to tell people how I'm really feeling. So after a year of this communication class, I was gaining my confidence, and I found my voice. And in finding my voice, I also found my value. I also took a risk that following year, and I joined Toastmasters International, which is a communication organization where you give speeches as often as you like. but with the warm support of members. And as every week, and every month, and now every year that has gone by, I know my value. You see, I stayed in that unhappy marriage for 20 years, not for money, and not for anything other than the fact that I didn't feel I was worthy enough to be happy. But I also learned that I can no longer hide behind roles that I've taken on in life. It's not the job of an ex-husband, my son, or nor religion for that matter, to give you your value. It must come from within. And I didn't realize that all these years, now remember, 43 of them, it was laying dormant inside me the entire time. But I was never given the skills or taught how to pull it out and let it shine. So I'm going to give you a few tips as to what I believe are great ways to jump on the road and find your self-worth. The first one is never break from your core values. Don't let anyone ever persuade you to do that. They're so important. Another one is always speak up for yourself in every arena of your life. For me, that was the most difficult, as I said earlier. And in fact, now that I have found my voice, you can be sure that if I feel I'm being wronged by any one of you here, my New Jersey Tourette's is going to shine through. Another one is get to know you. Become your best friend. Take those lectures that you find interesting. Read those books. Take on that hobby. Getting to know yourself is something that is so valuable, especially on the journey of finding your value. Another one, which was very key for mine, and that was getting rid of the toxic, negative naysayers you have in your life. And we all have one. There's something about a toxic person in your life. They will hinder you from knowing your self-worth. And oftentimes, even if you had known your self-worth, they can rob it from you. Another one is also, my apologies. As I said earlier, getting to know your value must come from within. Don't hide behind the roles we've all taken on, because as women and mothers, we all do that, and we always tend to put others first. Another recent friend said to me once, self-care is not selfish. I hope this morning I've persuaded you of two things. First, if you are not writing the story of your life, then ask yourself, who is? And second, please always know the value in knowing your value. No matter where you are in life and no matter what age, your quest for self-worth will never end. And in fact, it's the best thing you can do to honor the invaluable, unique person each and every one of us are. Thank you.